Hey everybody, hey, it's Lee Godbold with Junk Removal Authority, where we help junk removal business owners make more money and live a better life. Happy to be talking with Idan Kadosh from Workiz today. Workiz has been a tool that we've been using for about 5 years or so now. We use it on a daily basis, both to dispatch jobs out to our clients. We also are constantly looking at the reports to figure out the health of our junk removal company. So at any given point, I take my cell phone right here, I pull it up, I open up Workiz, and I can tell, hey, how is our company doing at any given point, no matter the time of day or whatever. We've got our metrics we track. We know where our crews are. We can tell how well our crews are doing. It's just a tool we use every single day. So we've got Idan Kadosh here. He's going to be going over the best ways to optimize your Workiz account for your junk removal company. Idan, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure, to talk to your customers. Junk removals. It is an exciting business vertical for us that we're seeing a lot more of. So at any chance to engage and help businesses get that additional growth, is exciting for us. I'll jump right into it. There's a couple of things that we wanted to cover that we see a lot with junk removal businesses in Workiz, we've seen these businesses scale from ones that make $100,000 profits a year to millions of dollars, and the more we can share of these success tips, will definitely benefit, our customers. So I'll get down to it. We'll start with scheduling. Okay, so one of the things Workiz does well is help you manage kind of your calendar. Okay, so Workiz calendar is more than your average kind of scheduling type calendar app. It is focused around your work. More than that, it even helps you to optimize distance. Now, with gas prices being what they are, you want to optimize your stops. You want to use what we call service areas. You want to minimize the driving time that your teams have to go through. And this is exactly what Workiz does for you. You're able to kind of optimize your route. You're able to move jobs around. You're able to just click on a job in your calendar and call a customer or message them right away, like, hey, how about we do this in 4 instead of 2? I mean, it just works out for me. It could be a small difference for the customer, big difference in costs and optimizations for you. So, the Workiz calendar is geared around work. It does give you a couple of views to understand where's your team and trucks are actually going to be at. And also there's a map view to understand, okay, so how does this look? What would an additional job, do to this route for today? Dispatching jobs, it's basically our bread and butter. This is how we started. You're able to send and assign jobs to multiple teams with a few simple clicks. Those teams automatically get pinged. They get a notification. You're able to message back with them while just being on the same screen. So that means it's very easy for you if you get like an unplanned route. You just got a phone call of a pickup for today. You want to get that job because when people have their mindset on getting the service today, it is what it is. You have to get that. It's very easy for you to just have a saved reply that just goes up to your tech and say, hey, are you able to make a quick pickup at this location? The phone integration definitely helps. Okay, so you don't have to jump back and forth between an actual physical phone or another application. You just call right from there, and the added value is everything's recorded. Okay, there's no he said, she said situation. So Workiz can basically encapsulate that dispatch center for you. It works for a one owner manager type person. It really works when you have basically when you scale your business to 5 dispatchers, 10 dispatchers, and you have all those trucks outside. So meaning you're only looking at one screen and you kind of get the full picture of what's going on, who's going where, why, and when. So last second changes with ease. As I mentioned, it's Workiz is very dynamic, and this is, I think, part of the tremendous success we're seeing with junk removal businesses. The fact that it's so easy to just move things around, restrict certain people from moving things around, tagging, filtering, service areas. It's very easy to take a look at that screen and get to the exact information that you need. Okay, it's very easy to contact a customer. It's very easy to automate a contact for a customer using the mobile app. One of the key things we always focused on, since we come from a very dynamic business. I mean, back at the time, we had a big locksmith business here in Southern California. One of the main things for us was instant communication with customers. Okay, we found that customers are in a bind. They're locked out of their room, locked out of the house, the car. The communication is super important. Like, where's my driver? Is he on the way? I need to push back an hour. I need to push forward an hour. All of these things, they come to one major central place where you're able to respond to them, text them, message them, call them, whatever you need. And again, the beauty of it, it's all documented. Okay, it's all in the timeline of a job or a customer. So moving on, let's talk about getting paid. Okay, so this is obviously a big subject. Okay, we found during COVID that the ease of getting paid is definitely a factor when it comes to serving customers. We saw that with the rise of buy now, pay later solutions, a lot of different payment apps. The easier it is for your customer to pay you, definitely takes an effect on your revenue. Okay, so estimates and invoices with Workiz, it's one click. Very easy to estimate a job. If it's a bigger job, obviously you want to send the customer an estimate. They get it online. They can approve, sign, or decline and tell you why. The estimates are very clear, mobile friendly. This is the level that customers expect today. It used to be that you could just send an email and say, hey, I think this is going to cost so and so. Customers today are more educated. They expect some sort of a portal, an online communication with them. This is exactly what you get with Workiz with any mobile device. Invoicing, same thing. Very easy to generate an invoice. Very easy to check out for the customer. Customer gets a link, pay now button. Very easy. They have their payment options. We offer credit card payments, bank transfers. If it's a bigger job, obviously you want to save on those fees. And we also introduced buy now, pay later for service businesses. I mean, everybody knows about Klarna and Affirm. I mean, if you ever bought an Amazon or something like that, you've seen those buttons of, as low as. We brought it for the service industry. So that means you're able, with almost, I believe it's above 90% approval and no hard credit checks, to just tell your customer, hey, just pay $40 a month. You get paid, obviously, the full amount. Our partner Sunbit assumes the liability. So this is, they like to put it as, making it easier for your customer to say yes. Also, a very good addition to that is our automations. So automations actually saves you the legwork of following up on those. Okay, it's very easy to generate some sort of a rule that says, hey, if somebody has an invoice that's been due for a couple of days, text them 2 weeks after. Same thing for estimates. Hey, I sent you an estimate yesterday. What'd you think? I mean, does the price make sense? You can even do a last resort. I see this with a lot of our users. They do kind of a last resort trigger. So that means we've sent you a couple of messages. You haven't answered the phone. Automatically, after a month, we're sending you an offer, a coupon. Hey, get 10% off. And you'd be surprised how many of those estimates that have not been responsive, finally, when they get that final offer, they actually approve it and end up doing the job. So again, all these features are basically ending up in more revenue for your business. So collecting payments, again, super critical that your techs find this easy. Okay, we've just revamped our entire kind of payment flow on the mobile app. Obviously, in junk removal and also other industries, there is a turnaround of employees. So that means having to kind of train them on the app and making sure they understand how to collect the payment. A customer comes, they pull a credit card. You need to be able to resolve that pretty quickly. We offer card readers for what we call in-person transactions that are cheaper and more secure. And we want to make sure that the actual persona, the field tech, the guy who's collecting the junk, it's very easy for them. They understand. They have a big pay button. It walks them through this all the way to getting a tip. And this is another addition that we just took care of. Your employees rely on tips. It is what it is. Okay. A lot of their salary is dependent on getting those tips. We just did a big revamp that really forces the tech to hand over the device to the customer and really emphasize with big buttons, to those tip options. We've tested this and we saw that it actually increases the amount of tips that your techs get. Super important. This is what that basically keeps them employed. The fact that they can make that extra, revenue at the end of their day. So all of these options, we're always monitoring to understand how can we make it easier for your customers to accept jobs and say that yes. How easy it is for you guys to kind of give them those options. So that means if they want to pay online, they want to do a bank transfer, they want to just swipe a card, and obviously getting more tips to your techs, which are working hard and deserve that extra compliment. So automations is something that we released more than a year ago, and it has tremendous success with our customers, specifically junk removal. What we've done, basically, we said, okay, so we're encouraging business owners to communicate more with the customers, but still, it's very manual. So we thought about how can we get field techs, junk removal owners to communicate more with customers. And the second one is, how do we automate this? How do we make it like, something that they don't need to work hard for? So that's automations. You can assemble an automation, which is basically a sentence. You just open a new automation and say, when a job is done, send a text to my client that says, hey, customer name. It's all using dynamic shortcodes. Was a pleasure serving you at 123 Main Street. If you like the service, be kind and leave us a review at this link. And this has shown tremendous results. We've seen businesses, we just got a review from a customer that says, I've been in business for 3 years. Throughout those 3 years, I got 100 reviews on Google. Since I started working with Workiz, and this is, within 3-4 months, I got another 100. And this is amazing. Customers are picky today, especially when we're talking about on-demand businesses that I need this now. And they're looking at those reviews. Obviously, you want to keep the level of service. You want those 5 stars. You want those 4 stars even. But the more you get those, so that means if I'm looking at 2 businesses, one has 1,000 reviews, one has 190 reviews, I'm going to go for the 1,000. He's popular. He's been around. And the beauty of it, you don't need to work hard for this. This is basically a template that you simply enable in Workiz. Automations for invoices, same as I mentioned before. You don't need to chase down an unpaid invoice. Workiz will do this for you with emails, with text messages. By the way, text messages work beautifully. Okay, if you ever thought about, should I do an email campaign or a text message campaign, use text. Texts, we have the data, people open and respond and click on texts. And even more than that, Workiz automation is basically scalable to anything that you have. Even if you have, if you're using Workiz phone, if you miss a call, Workiz automation can actually respond to that missed call. And this is something we see actually with junk removal a lot. It's, hey, we're sorry we missed your call. We're like swamped with work. Here's a booking link. Just book our services online. And you'd be amazed how many of our owners actually capitalize on missed calls by sending that link automatically, where customers click it directly, they see the availability, and that's it. They book that job. So again, a lot of value packed. The people, the businesses that we see utilizing automations, you see the numbers, you see the growth, you see the revenue go up. So let's talk about tracking ROI with Workiz, which is a very interesting subject. This is one of the reasons that we started Workiz to begin with way back then. We found it very hard as a business that spent a lot of money on advertising to understand how is that money coming back to us. And we went to a couple of IT companies and we tried to look for a solution, and nobody knew how to do it. I mean, I'm talking about 15 years ago. So this is what got us to start coding and develop this. So with Workiz, we built the call tracking solution in. So it's not an integration. It's not another company that revolves around an API and an IT guy that configures it for you. You just go into Workiz and you just get a phone number. It takes literally 30 seconds. You just put in the area code that you want. We show you what numbers are there. You can search for numbers that are more appealing. And you get that phone number, and that's it. Immediately it's yours. You assign it to a source. So that means this phone number is for a new campaign that I did. This phone number is the one I have on my truck. I mean, I'm guessing a lot of you are wondering. I mean, most junk removal businesses have some sort of a nice design or nice wrap around their trucks. I would be very interested to understand how many people are seeing that number on the street and calling it. If you have a QR code, if you have a new campaign you launched on Google, if you're using Thumbtack, you want to know how many people are coming from these sources and how much money should you spend. I can't even begin to explain, how much money customers of ours, which work with an advertising agency, they started using us. They started separating those call tracking numbers. And suddenly they're seeing that, for a specific area, for a specific campaign, they're losing money. Okay, so that means that specific campaign, when you're looking at it, it's costing you, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000 a month. And the revenue generated from it is maybe $3,500. Why? Because, I don't know, the keywords were not aligned. That area tends to have a high cancellation rate, or the average profit per job is not what it should be. But basically you're wasting money and time around that area. And Workiz helps you kind of get directly to that attribution. Okay, because you get a call, you answer with Workiz. While you're on the call, you have a simple button that converts that call to a job. Workiz does the legwork and understands, okay, what's the source for this? Eventually, you close out that job and collect payment from a customer. We already attribute everything to that source. So you end up with a nice report that tells you, hey, this is what Google brought you, and this is the average, and this is the cancellation rate. You want to dig deeper? Workiz will allow you that. You can even dig deeper into the areas, into the zip codes, into the neighborhoods. This has happened to me personally. I found an area here in San Diego as I digged into the numbers, and I found that it has a 50% cancellation rate. Okay. And I'm going over to my one of the co-founders of Workiz, my partner at the time, and I'm asking him, can you look at the keywords in Google? How much are we spending for locksmith with that neighborhood name? And apparently it was around $6,000 a month. And we were losing money there, and we just closed out that campaign and didn't take jobs with that keyword in that area. So this is money that was saved directly by using this app, which for me it's what it's all about. Just making the business work better. Not just reminders and having your CRM. It's actually seeing the revenue from a software that you decided to work with. So Workiz gives you all of that granular data. I mean, if you just want to look, you'll see in your dashboard, hey, this is what Thumbtack gave you, this is what Google gave you. But if you want to kind of really dig deeper and understand, like, okay, so how much am I making from this technician? How many calls am I getting from this source? And what's the attributed revenue? And what's the cancellation rate? You can do all of that, and you don't need you don't need to be a data analyst. It's pretty simplified for our owners to understand and act upon. So obviously reporting matters, okay? So it's not just how your ads perform and where are you spending money and how you're getting it back. It's the profits and the averages, okay? So this is something also that we like to expose with Workiz. Anybody who's been in business for a while understands that they have specific sources that generate more. So that means you might be getting a lot of jobs from Google, but if you look at it, maybe the average revenue or profit from those jobs is lower from the ones that come from your truck or from the door hangers that you put on a specific street. I'm just giving this as an example because that usually that tends to be the truth. Customers coming from online are usually more price aware because they compare. Versus customers that you get as a word of mouth or from a door hanger or somebody that considers you local. And you can see that with our data, with the data in Workiz, fairly easy. But again, you want to have scale. So you're able to see what's the average profit, and something that's very important is cancellation rate, okay, that we kind of bring up in a lot of our reports. Not every job makes it to the finish line. Very important to say. Some areas you will see there's more cancellation. Some sources, usually online, you'll see a higher cancellation rate because easy to book, easy to cancel. Also, the profit margin. You want to understand your costs. Now, if you're tracking your costs like gas or travel charges with Workiz, that also helps you. So that means there might be an area that you'll figure out that it's not really worth your time traveling. I mean, we had this in San Diego, in North County. We kept getting jobs from an area between us and Orange County that nobody wanted to serve. But we figured out that the profit is problematic when you account for gas and time. So Workiz really helps you kind of dive into those numbers and understand, okay, it's not just about how many jobs I got from Google or the end revenue, it's how much did I work for it. Okay, so that means what's the average per job and what's the profit per job? Because it could be when you do the math, it may be worth to invest your time more on different platforms. And again, each one in its areas. We've seen areas that online advertising works better. We've seen one that it works less. So this is super critical for junk removal businesses, online booking, okay? This is something that is gaining popularity by the year, okay? And we analyze this data all the time. And you can clearly see, and Workiz, we have a lot of different verticals and industries that work with us. Nothing like the junk removal industry. Online booking is very important in the junk removal industry because it's an on-demand work. It's an immediate need. Okay, so that means something has been accumulating in my yard or my garage. I've been ignoring it. My wife just told me, do me a favor, get rid of it tomorrow. I want to be able to get a resolution for that immediately, okay? And this is especially true with millennials. Millennials will do everything not to pick up the phone. They will text you, They will email you, or they'll book online if you give them a simple way to do that. And with junk removal, it's a clear cut. We see the data. It used to be 10% of jobs and then 20% of jobs, and now we're seeing businesses as high as 30% of jobs. That means 30% of booked revenue for your business that you didn't have to talk to somebody for. Okay, you didn't have to have a dispatcher that you pay, wages to, and insurance, and office space. Those jobs are booked online. I mean, basically, we like to say you can make money while you sleep, because people can just, they don't need you to answer the phone. So live availability. So that means it shows the actual availability of your business. Customers can see if you are available at the time that they need. It's connected to your schedule. You can customize that availability to just show always available, or to actually be dynamic based on the number of resources that you have. There's a bunch of other configurations in there, like the minimum notice time that you need, and a lot of feedback that we got from our customers. But it's connected to your schedule and showing live results. Custom fields, you're able to ask the questions that you want. Okay, so that means if it's important to you to know if there's stairs, okay, or if there's a driveway, or if it's a building that requires some sort of coordination before. Any questions that you have, you can customize the end form to ask those questions and make them required. Why? You want to come there prepared, okay? It is a hassle when you book a job, you get there, and there's a special elevator that you have to sync with the building ahead of time in order to remove stuff from an apartment, or any other arrangements that you need to make. So it's important to ask those questions ahead of time, and we see our junk removal customers use that. More than that, using our latest version of our booking, we encourage the customer to upload a picture. Okay, this is something very common. Like if you were to look at our customers' messaging section of the app with other businesses versus the junk removal, you would see that the junk removal businesses, a lot of image communication, because customers call in, I need you to clean up to clear out our garage. Okay, so how much would it cost? Send me a picture. I need to estimate it. It also helps you understand, like, okay, is this a half load? Is this a quarter load? I mean, do I need a full truck for this? Can I do this as part of the route? Asking those questions and getting those images, super important, and this is why we put it in. Items and service-based booking. This is also something that came a lot from the junk removal space. We now give you the option to actually have clarity and transparency with your customers. So that means you can actually have an online catalog that shows what are the items and services that you perform and what is the price. Even more than that, you're able to collect a deposit online. Okay, some of our customers are super busy. They don't want people, wasting their time. They're just putting in there, like, what do you have? You have a piano? Okay, is this an estate clean out? Is this a quarter truck, a half truck? Is this just a couple of cabinets? They give out the pricing for those. Customers select what items they need to remove. And then you're able to say, okay, so I'm asking for a 10% deposit. Why? I don't want to, I want to cover myself and say in the event that you're not home or have a last minute change. Super helpful for our businesses. Also allows you to kind of, customize and secure your time. So other optional features that we have, like I mentioned, source tracking in the phone. This is something that you can either use Workiz or not use. We highly recommend it. So that means if you're an on-demand business, okay, so if you're a person that constantly needs to answer the phone and advertise, yes, use call tracking. You will make money on this. You will see things that you haven't seen before. Okay, deposits and pricing on booking. Now this varies from area to area. Okay, so some areas we see that people are more comfortable with putting out the prices and collecting deposit. Some areas it's more about just getting the job. So that means, hey, pick a time and we'll sync up later. It really depends at the maturity level of your business, but there are a lot of benefits to that. Availability options, as I mentioned, our booking can be used as, just, very simply. When you sign up to Workiz, you just get that booking link and you can just publish it in your website or Facebook or Yelp, wherever you choose to. Or you can kind of customize it with all the fields that you need, availabilities. You can say, hey, my time slots are 4 hours or 3.5 hours. I only want to take 2 online bookings at a time. Okay, that means I don't want to allow more than that with slots. Could be that you provide different services. Okay, so that means it's what kind of job is it? Is it a dumpster? Do we need to demolish something? Okay, because I have a team that only does pickups, and I have a team that can actually break down a cabinet. Okay, so we have what's called service-based booking, skill-based booking, where you can actually say, okay, show the customer the availability based on the number of people who can actually do this job. So these are additional options. Workiz can get more advanced if you need it. I mean, when you sign up, the options are pretty simple. But if you need the complexity, it's here for you. And you can either work with our success managers, which are very experienced with the junk industry. So that means they're probably going to share some tips with you that they saw in other businesses. Or they can kind of walk you through, and we have like online videos that help you set up for yourself. So demo, we're gonna put the demo here.
Yeah, we'll just plug it in. So that was fine. Now, when you click to the next one, we'll just pretend like it never happened. So we'll just start with the next one.
Okay, let me go on. Okay, so make it easy for your customers to pay you. We covered this already, no? Wes?
Yeah, but these are all different videos. So this is going to be a video that releases in like 4 months.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So all these sections are going to be different videos.
Got you. Okay, so I'll cover this again. Okay, so make it easy for your customers to pay you. So Workiz has a built-in payment solution called Workiz Pay. We're essentially working with one of the largest processing services in the world. It's Stripe. And everything is kind of the entire financial solution is built into Workiz. It's not just payments. We allow for buy now, pay later. We incorporate everything into the customer portals. So that means we allow your customers to self-check out. We allow for card readers, or as we call, buy now, pay later. We allow for you to automate convenience fees, whether that's, again, allowed in your state. So that means you're able to charge an additional convenience fee for getting paid online. Also, all of your payouts and reconciliation with QuickBooks is done by us. So that means within your Workiz, you're going to find a whole financial platform that you can manage disputes on, manage your card readers, payouts, fees, connect to QuickBooks, everything that you might need. Now, these solutions exist with a number of other merchants. Is it worth your time? Is it worth your time kind of using another app or another processor instead of having everything in one place? And remember, just when you have 2 apps managing your payments, you're going to lose payments. I mean, it's pretty sure to say after years that I've been in this business, you're going to miss out on payments. You're going to miss out on reconciling invoices. Workiz Pay just kind of organizes everything for you in one place. The interface is very slick and very simple for your field techs and your customers. So that means if you're in front of a customer, it's very easy to just scan the credit card, have them tap the credit card. You hand them over the device. The tip options are very big and clear, and encourage the customer to give you a tip. They immediately get an invoice or receipt that is to their email or phone number via text. All of this ties into our estimates and invoices. Okay, so that means you're writing up an estimate for a customer. You just share it with them through text message. And again, super important, use texts instead of emails. You're just going to get better conversion on that. People open text, they'll ignore an email way more easily. So you can share that estimate with them, and you can share an invoice with them. Again, very simple. From your mobile device, you just share via text or email. One very nice added feature there is that you can actually attach images from the job site to the invoice and estimate. It's not critical for a lot of businesses. I just think it adds that touch for your business, where you show them, hey, this was your yard before, and this is how it looks now. So, one of the big kind of reliefs that a homeowner has when they call junk removal is like, okay, I have this huge mess. And then the day after, they're like, I got my yard back, or I got my garage back. I know I feel that way after I get junk removal service. So a lot of these options really help you with kind of the retention of customers, because you have to kind of look at it holistically. Your customers today will recommend you and will call you back. And these are jobs you're not paying advertising for. So it's very important to give them that feeling of like, hey, I have a client portal. I give that level of service that you would expect from Best Buy or Home Depot when they deliver an appliance. Automating payment collection, super important with Workiz automations. The invoice will keep communicating with the customer according to the cadences that you guys define. So that means if you want to have it automatic when the job is done, if you want to do something once an invoice is due, or maybe a week after, or maybe an even harsher warning a month after. Workiz automation does that for you. So that means the customer will keep getting messages with the messages that you define with a link to the invoice, like, hey, your invoice is 14 days due. Please use the link below to pay. And they'll click that, and over there, it's extremely easy for them to pay. They just click, put in their card number. We're coming up with Apple Pay, Google Pay, so having it as a one click, or they can use a bank account and also pay as you go, which is something that we kind of introduced a year ago. Workiz offers BNPL, buy now, pay later, for home services. So the idea is to get your customer to say yes to something that he might not consider otherwise. Okay, you come out to a property, they're asking for kind of an odd job. It's more than the regular, truckload that you're used to. You're giving them an estimate. You're saying, hey, this is going to end up at $900. They're saying, you know what? No, I can't afford it. Well, with Workiz, you just send them a link, and it has payment options. Okay, so it could be just as little as $50 a month or $100 a month. We have 4 months no interest with a company called Sunbit, which specializes in buy now, pay later solutions for small businesses. It has a 90% approval rate. It's not a hard credit check, so that means that it's not a credit check that's going to appear on your credit report. And it's been proven to get a lot of people to say, okay, in that case, yes, I'll take the job. The beauty of it, it's no risk for you, the business owner. That means Sunbit assumes the loan, and you just get the money deposited within 2 days. So, super solution for easy payment options for your customers. Credit card readers is something that we see more and more junk removal businesses adopt. Reason being, first of all, it's cheaper. Okay, it's a cheaper transaction, and it's more secure. So you're less likely to see a credit card dispute from a card reader transaction because it means the card was present, which also allows us to give that lower cost. Card readers are super small, super easy to use. You don't even need to talk to anybody to get one. You just go on your Workiz account and you just order as many as you want. You get them usually within 3 to 5 business days. Connect to your device, super easy, super comfortable. Also, a better experience for your customer. So that means a customer ends up, pulling a credit card instead of kind of scanning it or typing the digits inside of your mobile app. You're just letting them tap, which gives them a more secure feeling, and the transaction, takes literally 5 seconds. The client portal, again, a very popular option, specifically since the pandemic. You can get payment from a customer right in front of them without, even needing to shake hands. I mean, I personally like to shake hands, but things have changed. It's very easy for you to just click invoice on the mobile app, share with customer. They get a text message, they click, shows them their total, pay now. Works like magic. You automatically get a notification back, hey, it's been paid. Same thing if you work with property managers or somebody who's basically away in another city. That happens a lot. You get a call from a property owner. It's like, hey, I just had an eviction somewhere, and I need you to go out, clear the property. I'm actually in Arizona. He's calling you. You're in San Diego, and I'm going to take care of the bill. Very simple. You go, you do the job, you send them a link. They pay you. The whole thing takes a minute. Tipping and commissions, super important in Workiz on the client portal and on the mobile app. We emphasize, the tipping section, again, depending on your business. If your business is one that doesn't collect tips, which I haven't seen a lot of in junk removal, you can disable it. But all in all, we make that part of the flow, also on the client portal, also on the mobile app, that your tax will end up getting a tip. Commissions are also something that's built into Workiz. So we saw a lot of service folks basically sitting down with a spreadsheet at the end of the week and starting to break out commissions. They give guys 10% of the job or an extra $15 per specific job type. And we don't need you to go to another software to do the math. With Workiz, you can define rules that basically give you like a commission report. So that means, hey, if they carried out a safe, that job type, I want to give them an extra $15. Or if they upsold the job, I want to give them 10%. Or if it's something that's on a different shift, okay? Let's say somebody called you for something that's like off hours. You can define a time range for Workiz automatic commissions. So it gives you a lot of ways to kind of reward your employees or subcontractors if you work with them for specific jobs in an automated way.